Now the difference that I was upset about, that I understand why people are mad about the movies from what I was expecting, but for the most part, I was really surprised. Broken. Oh my gosh. Good morning, beautiful, beautiful friends. I hope you're all doing incredibly well. Move your butt. I have not done a casual vlog. Oh my goodness. Stop. Having boy dogs is so hard. I have not done a casual vlog, like a reading vlog, in a long time. We are already off to a chaotic start. So I wanted to start one because I decided to pick up The Hobbit. And I'm so excited. This was not on my TBR for this year. I was going to read this in springtime, but then I had some friends tell me that it's actually more of like a fall read in their opinion, so that's what I am going to read. I did just DNF The Foxglove King, which I will talk about more in a recent reads video that I plan on doing, but I was very, very, very disappointed in how that ended up turning out. I made it about 200 pages in and my conviction sat in and I was like, nope, can't read this. So we're gonna go with something wholesome and beautiful, and I'm so excited. Yeah, so I am working right now because it is Thursday. It's morning and I'm about to make breakfast, and Steven and his mom are out visiting Steven's grandma. So yeah, I think that I'm just going to start this tonight. I wanted to make sure to document this journey because I've been wanting to read this book for so long, and I don't know why, but I'm that person that, like, when I really want to read a book, I delay it and delay it and delay it. I don't know why I'm like that, but I'm finally just gonna do it. It's like with the Cruel Prince series, which I just ordered on Amazon a few days ago, by the way. It's supposed to deliver today. I ordered the entire series. Still haven't read it yet because, again, I feel like I know I'm gonna love it, and so I've just been delaying it. I've had the first and third book for over a year and I still haven't read them. So I just ordered the whole series the other day, and I also ordered the collector's edition that is coming out in October. So there's that. But anyway, so yes, enough rambling. Point being, I'm starting this and I'm so excited. It is a small book, but it is it's about 300 pages. Either way, I'm so excited about this and I cannot wait. So yeah, I'm going to make my breakfast really quick because my break is pretty much over and I still haven't done that yet. So I'm gonna make my breakfast, finish out my workday, and then get started on The Hobbit. I'm so excited. Hello, it is Saturday afternoon. I'm currently editing my haul video, but I wanted to give a quick little update. So I haven't been able to read a whole super ton the last couple of days, but I have made it to page 1909 when they just escaped the goblins under the mountain. So I am really liking how cozy this is so far. I love Tolkien. It's so interesting to me because it's written so differently, obviously, because this was written in like, I don't know, like the 1940s or 30s or something. I don't remember. But basically, you can definitely tell that it's like written in a different time. Like the way that things are explained, the words that are used, and even the writing style is very different. Like, for example, if I had read the book without seeing the movie first, I would not have known that Thorin was gonna be so, like, rude and aggressive in the movies, you know what I mean? Because, like, in the movies, he's so, like, grumpy and crabby and, like, you know, but, like, in the book, he doesn't come off like that at all. So I think it's just because, and it might just be me because I've never read like an older classic book like this before, and I'm so used to authors like thoroughly explaining people's personalities and their traits and stuff like that. But there's so much of this where it's like Gandalf will say something and it'll say, "Thanks," Thorin said, where like in the movie it was more so like not cheery, I guess. I don't know, maybe I'm just reading everything as cheery. Oh yeah, this is the part I was just talking about, but it was Gandalf had said, "Please be careful next time or we shall never get anywhere." "Thank you," said Thorin. Like, in the movie, that would not have been like Thorin's response. I feel like he would have been like, he would have given more of a rebuttal, I guess, because he's kind of a crabby, cranky dwarf. But so I don't know. I do really like it. It's just very different from what I was expecting. But it is very cozy. I'm really enjoying it so far. I really am. It's just different. Maybe it's the ADHD, I don't know, but I am constantly having to like go back and reread sentences and paragraphs and stuff like that. So I don't know. Anyway, that's my update. Cozy read. I'm sorry the lighting is really weird. We have weird lighting in our house. It looks a little foggy. So yeah, that is my update, and I will catch up with you guys later after I've read a little bit more. Okay, just kidding. I'm back for a quick second because I just got the mail and I've got a couple of fun things to share. So I ordered a beautiful sticker from this Etsy shop called Solemn Knox, and this is actually the girl that I buy my presets from. This right here on Etsy. Her Instagram page is like the most beautiful thing in the whole world. Oh, I love this thank you card. That's so pretty. Her handwriting. This is not written. No, there's no way. I love that so much. I want that to be my handwriting. But, oh, it's smaller than I expected, but it's still cute. I got this little crow sticker. Isn't that so pretty? Sorry, I'm recording on my phone, and it doesn't always focus the best with crap lighting. But I think it's really, really pretty. I think I'm going to put this on my laptop. I don't know. I just have like, I've always had this weird, really, not obsession, but love for crows. I know people always would say that they're like the devil's watchbird and they like represent evil, and I'm like, who the heck decided that? I think they're beautiful and they're actually really friendly. So anyway, the other thing that I got is, ooh, smells good. What the heck? Ooh, Soapy Oaks Farm, because I needed some skincare stuff. And I react to a ton of stuff that's natural because everything uses essential oils nowadays, and I'm extremely sensitive to essential oils, unfortunately. So I ordered some tallow for my skincare that does not have any essential oils in it, and I'm so excited because I love tallow. Oh my gosh, it smells fantastic. I ordered 3 things. So I got first this tallow, which I love that it comes in this little flip top jar. Okay, so if you don't know what tallow is, this is gonna sound so weird, you guys, but I promise it's not, and it doesn't smell. It doesn't smell at all, I promise. It's whipped fat, basically, animal fat. It's, this is from bison. In the past, I've used it from, not deer, cows. I have deer fat in our freezer outside because I've wanted to make my own tallow, but you have to like boil it down and then you just like whip it and it turns into like a creamy whip. I know it sounds so weird, you guys, but I promise. Oh, wow. This is all over the lid. I was not expecting that. But it's like a creamy consistency, and it doesn't smell. It doesn't smell at all. It literally just smells like lotion, and it is so healthy for your skin. Oh my gosh. It already feels so amazing. I know if you're not like a crunchy person, I know it sounds so weird, but I promise it's not as weird as you think it is. It doesn't smell bad and it makes your skin feel amazing. So anyway, I really recommend trying it. The other two things that I got, Espresso Joy Follicle Stimulator Oil. I was reading about this. Coffee is like really, really, really good for your skin. So I just got this serum that is espresso based for my face. And then, I don't know why I keep doing this, but I got another deodorant. And if you've been here a while, you know that I react to every kind of natural deodorant in the world. Don't know what it is, don't know why, but this one had ingredients that I've never used before. However, it does have essential oils in it, so I might still react anyway. But this is tallow based, so it's got tallow, rosehip oil, beeswax, zinc oxide, bee propolis, powdered greenbrier root, and rosemary and tea tree essential oils. I've never used deodorant that has any of this except for beeswax, so I'm hoping that maybe, oh my gosh, it smells so good, that maybe these ingredients will make a difference. I don't know, we'll see. And they sent me a little spoon. So anyway, yeah, again, I know this sounds weird, but it's not. I'm telling you, it is so amazing for your skin, and I love the little jar that they sent me. I know there are probably people judging me right now, but I swear it's not as weird as it sounds. But I am going to keep this in the fridge so it's not super melty, and then also because it is a natural item, just try it, you guys. Just try it. It's actually really great, I swear. Especially if you have like skin issues like eczema or psoriasis, stuff like that. Tallow works really amazingly for it. And also if you're sensitive to skincare like I am, it will also be really helpful. So that's my little crunchy, natural, hippie oh my gosh, recommendation for the day. My skin is so stinking soft after just putting that little bit on. I love this stuff. So I have not had very much reading time over the last week because I've had to work overtime every day. So that's exciting, but I am a little over halfway through now in The Hobbit. And so far I will say that I'm really surprised at how like on par it is with the movie. I was not expecting it to be like so similar because, you know, obviously when they make movies they're usually like way different than the book. So that's been a pleasant surprise until I think until they met with Elrond. It was pretty right on, but then that was very different than what's in the book. And then meeting with Beorn was obviously very different. And yeah, I don't know. It's good so far though. I'm surprised that they split this into 3 movies. But you know, whatever, I guess. But yeah, it is very good, very cozy. I will say that the writing is definitely very different than like modern writing, because I'm used to people explaining like emotions and the way that they say things, whereas in Tolkien's writing, and I don't know if it's just Tolkien or if it's like that whole time period of how people spoke and wrote, he doesn't put any like emotion behind when people say things. So I am very grateful that the movie exists because I think I would be missing a lot without it. And also very grateful to be able to see like Rivendell and stuff like that, because I don't think it was explained like that in the book at all. I think the way I would have explained it would have been like with the way I would have seen it in my head, just reading it without the movie would not have been as beautiful and majestic and magical. So I'm really grateful for the movies for sure. But I am really liking this. It's very cozy. And now that I have the weekend, I'm hoping to actually make a dent in this. Because like I said, I haven't had any reading time for the last 4 or 5 days because I've just been working crazy hours and trying to spend time with Steven on top of that and my boys. So yeah, it's been a journey, but thankfully I will now have reading time. So hopefully I will finish this very soon. Hello friends! Well, I finally get to update you because I did just finish The Hobbit a few days ago and it is the epitome of cozy. So I am going to be making a lot of comparisons to the movies, so just so you know, because I know people are going to be very bothered by that, so I figured I'd just let you know ahead of time. So starting off, I should say that I did give this a 5 out of 5 rating. How can you not? It's such an amazing story and it's so cozy. The characters are wonderful. There's so many great one-liners and moral lessons and so many biblical allegories, and it was beautiful. It was basically everything I expected, but actually more than that in a way, and yeah, I don't know, it was just really cozy and beautiful. And I did take my time reading it because you only get to read The Hobbit for the first time once, so I wanted to make sure that I was really soaking it in and picking everything up. Like, there were days when I would literally only read like a few paragraphs, so I definitely wanted to make sure that I really relished in the experience. So in regards to the whole comparison of the movie, I was really surprised that this was so like on par. Like, I guess the movie was on par with the book for the most part. I was really surprised. I was like, hey, I remember this. So that was really actually cool to see, because I know that the Hobbit movie for some reason really upsets a lot of people, and parts of it I get, but other parts I'm like, why? It's so good. I love that movie so much. I will say that if it wasn't for the movies, I don't think I would have been able to follow the book very well. For me, it was pretty complex, especially like the layout and the map of the worlds and stuff like that. So I'm very grateful for the movies for that, and for the maps that are already in the front of the book, which I have an older edition. I think this was printed in the 90s, and it does have the map on here, which I was very thankful for. If it wasn't for the movies, I don't think I would have accurately been able to picture the land and even the characters, besides Bilbo and Gandalf, of course, but especially Rivendell. Like, the Rivendell described in the book and the Rivendell in the movies it's not at all what I would have pictured reading the book by itself without having seen the movies. Like, there's no way I would have imagined that, because it was described, from my understanding, from my memory, as being more of like down in the valley kind of a thing. And I just definitely would not have pictured that. So I'm so grateful that the movie made it so beautiful, because I would not have seen that in my head for sure. I will say that the writing is very different than I expected. You can definitely tell that it was written in a different time, for sure. Like, the words that were used, the way things were said, and it was also very unemotional. Like, it was not written in an emotional, character-driven kind of a way. The writing was much more focused on like what was happening and why it was happening and the events that were going on, as opposed to the character's perspective and feelings. Of course, he did, you know, lay out that Bilbo felt that he just wanted to be at home. He just wanted to be at home in his armchair next to his fire, reading his books, drinking his tea. That was referenced several times, but it was never written in like a, I don't know, in like a modern emotional way, I guess. It's kind of hard to explain unless you read it. But for example, like I had said in my Instagram caption review of this book, where in other books it'll be like, oh, he huffed, or he said upset, or like, what is it? He groveled, or he whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of explain the emotions behind a response, whereas in The Hobbit it was mostly like he said. I am especially grateful that Thorin was depicted more grumpy in the movies, I guess, because in the book that's not how he really came off, and I don't think it's because that's not how he was written, because I think that is how Thorin is meant to be presented in the book even, but I think the movie just picked up on that a lot more, of him being kind of like a crabby butthead. So I really am thankful for the movies for that as well. There were several scenes that I think we were robbed of, for sure. Like, I know that when the movie came out, so many people were mad that they were like, they made it into a musical, like, like in the beginning when they were like throwing the forks and the plates around and stuff like that. Like, there were so many people who were upset that they put that in the movie, but like, that's in the book. That's in the book. There were so many more songs in the book that we were robbed of. What, we only got like 2. We got that beginning one, and then we got the Misty Mountain song, whatever, I can't even think of it. Like, I think that's pretty much all we got. There are so many more songs in here, and I wish we would have gotten them, especially the song with the elves. Like, there were so many songs that the elves sang that we just did not get, and I'm kind of mad about it. The other thing that was in the movie and not in the books was, of course, Toriel and Legolas, and I'm actually really grateful that they were put in the movie. I know I'm one of the few. A lot of people, like I said, were also upset about that, but I think it was a fabulous addition. I really liked that. I love Toriel's character, and I mean, we can never get too much of Legolas, you know? I would say probably up until they stayed with Beorn in the second movie, I think most of the stuff was pretty right on with like the movie and the book. Pretty dang close. But I think in the Beorn scene in the book is when things kind of got off track with the movie, because they stayed with Beorn a lot longer in the book than they did in the movie. And then in the forest there was some stuff that didn't happen in the movies that I wish they would have put in, like is it Bomber? It's not Beaufort, is it? Basically the fat dwarf. His dreams that he had about the elves and their experiences with the elves in the woods, and the river that was mentioned in the book that wasn't in the movies, and then when they escaped the elven prison and there was more elves, like the whole thing of them being chased by orcs and stuff in the movie isn't even in the book. Like, that part's not even in there. And I kept waiting for like the whole drama with the orcs to pop up at some point, and that just like never happened. In the movie, or in the book, it's literally just them occasionally fighting goblins and such, but in the movie it's all about the whole orc thing, and that's not how it went in the book, and I was really surprised. Now, the difference that I was upset about, that I understand why people are mad about the movies, is that the ending was different with Thorin, Beorn, and Azog. Azog. Everybody pronounces it differently. That I'm upset about. They should have done the ending like it did in the book. That I can understand, because I think that ending was way more powerful and emotional in the book than it was in the movie, and it just would have been great to get more of Beorn and the stay that Gandalf and Bilbo had at his place after that. So those are kind of the comparisons to the movie that I was kind of like, But overall, it was pretty close, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, there were definitely differences with the characters. Like I had said, Thorin was a lot more grumpy in the movie, which I liked, and Thranduil was actually also a lot grumpier in the movie. In the books, he comes off as a lot more kind and peaceful. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I absolutely love his character. I love him in the movies. I love him. So I was not expecting him to be so different in the books. And I'm wondering if his name comes up in like the Lord of the Rings books or in other books, because his name, Thranduil, is not actually in the book. He's just referred to as the Elven King, the Woodland Elven King. So that was actually surprising as well. My experience with Lord of the Rings, Middle-earth in general, is basically just the movies. I grew up on those. I used to watch them all the time, but I had never read any of the books. So if I'm making like comparison or comments, like, that's why. This is my first experience with these. I think part of the reason why I've waited so long to read the books is, number one, I always delay reading books that I know I'm gonna love. For some reason, all the books that everybody's like, how have you not read these yet? I delay and delay because I know I'm gonna love them, and for some reason, I don't know. It's why it took me so long to read The Hobbit, and also why I spent so long reading it, because you only get the experience one time, you know? So anyway, but in regards to that, I think another reason why I delayed so long is because I was really intimidated, because The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings is very like a complex adult fantasy, and I know that for a lot of us that can be really intimidating and kind of overwhelming. So I do want to say that I am so grateful that the books and movies exist, because I think if we didn't have those, I probably would have been lost a lot, actually. So I'm really grateful they exist, because I would not have been able to keep up with a lot of it, and it kind of makes me a little bit nervous to read Tolkien's other works like the Silmarillion and such, because there aren't movies for those. So I'm kind of like, oh gosh, I hope I like connect the dots accurately. So again, just more praise. I'm really grateful that the movies exist, even though a lot of it was off, and they did exclude some things that I think should not have been excluded, but overall I'm pretty happy with how they ended up creating things. So I think that the book is definitely up here while the movie's like right here. I don't want to say that they're quite even, because like I said, without the movies I would have been lost in the book, and the movies are so beautiful. Like, come on, look at the scenes of Rivendell. Like, those are stunning, you know what I mean? So anyway, I've been rambling for too long. I could probably talk about this book for a lot longer. It's just, it was cozy and beautiful and wonderful. And I did annotate a little bit in this one. This is, like I said, an older copy. It was already ripped when I bought it, so I don't mind annotating in it since it is a little kind of beat up already as it is. But I just used a few of my zebra pens and did some squiggly underlining on a bunch of the quotes that I really enjoyed. This part, oh, I loved this quote that I underlined. It says, "Somehow the killing of the giant spider all alone by himself in the dark without the help of the wizard or the dwarves or of anyone else made a great difference to Mr. Baggins. He felt a different person and much fiercer and bolder in spite of an empty stomach as he wiped his sword on the grass and put it back into his sheath." I thought that was a really cool quote. I also underlined a lot of the descriptions that I thought were really beautiful, especially of the elves. Like, the way that Tolkien writes is really beautiful. Oh, here's that quote I was talking about. "He fought the real battle in the tunnel alone before he ever saw the vast danger that lay in wait." That might have been about the smog, but either way, I thought a few of these quotes were really great, and like I said, I definitely took note to highlight the parts that I wish were in the movie, which I don't want to talk about too much because I don't want to accidentally spoil stuff, even though I feel like I probably already have. But overall, I'm really grateful that I read this, and I can't wait to read The Lord of the Rings. I might wait until spring to read those. I'm not quite sure, we shall see, but this is definitely a new favorite of mine, 5 out of 5. I probably will reread this sometime in the future. Probably not something that I'll read every year like a lot of people, but probably every couple years just to refresh my love for it. And yeah. Anyway, I'm really glad that I read this, and I really encourage you guys to read it. And if you're someone who's like me, who's kind of afraid of the complexities of having an adult fantasy like this, I definitely recommend watching the movies first. I think it'll really help you imagine everything. Especially being a super visual person, it really helps to see things in my mind's eye when I read books. So yeah, I think that is all I'm going to say. I've already been talking for like 15 minutes, so I am going to close this out. Thank you guys so much for being here for my experience of reading The Hobbit and for supporting all of my other videos as well. It really means a lot to me, especially because like this isn't a job or anything, I just do it for fun, so it's really cool to have people here who also want to be friends through this avenue. So thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. I hope you're doing incredibly well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!